Let's pop you over to Sun City in the northwest. As you can see on the side of your screen, President Cyril Ramaphosa is just about to tee off as part of the January 8 Presidential Golf Day, which is being held at the Gary Player Golf Course in Sun City. It's considered one of South Africa's premier golf venues and underscores, of course, the prestige of this kind of event. It's on the sidelines of the ANC's January 8 statement, which is expected, of course, on Saturday. The president still trying to get his swing right. He's already admitted he doesn't play as much golf as he likes, but let's listen and get you a sense of how this particular swing is likely to go. All right, so that was the first attempt. I wonder if the president will take another jab at it. Of course, outside of the levity of this moment, the ANC, on a much more serious note, is hoping to use this event to raise funds for an organization which has publicly stated multiple times that they are facing a number of financial constraints, and these, even as recent as last year, have led to staffers not being paid on time. But the Treasurer General of the organization, in Dr. Cyril Ramaphosa, she's also about to tee off today, but it told SABC News earlier that they were able to pay staffers their salaries before Christmas, despite those lingering concerns, of course, about whether or not those who work at Luthuli House would be able to receive their pay. This particular event, as I mentioned, is an annual sideline event ahead of the ANC's January 8th statement, and it's a period where the governing party will outline their political and policy direction for the year. That's what we're expecting on Saturday. The Progressive Business Forum and the Progressive Citizens Forum are also part of those hosting this particular gathering. And it's a space, if you like, for political leaders, business figures, I suppose captains of industry is the term we use a lot in the media, to start building their own relationships with the ANC ahead of the political calendar ahead. As I mentioned, Cyril Ramaphosa is the Treasurer General of the ANC, but is also the chairperson of the Progressive Business Forum. She's also part of the engagements that are taking place, and I imagine part of her task will be to lead those discussions between the leadership of the ANC and those who are in the private sector of South Africa, trying to navigate both domestic and economic challenges and broader international engagement, so to speak. Earlier, the president was engaged about that announcement we heard yesterday about the appointment of Andy Mothibi, of course, who's now been appointed as the new head of the NPA from next month. Ramaphosa has conceded that he was surprised when the advisory panel came back to him to say none of the candidates were suitable, and that's why he used the powers envisioned by the Constitution to appoint somebody that he finds suitable, and that's how Andy Mothibi essentially got the job. Now, Ntlantla Kgatlhane is part of the SABC News team watching the sideline events ahead of the January 8th statement. And Ntlantla, help us locate where you are and what you're able to tell us about what's likely to unfold over the next couple of days.
Yes, well, thank you so much. I am indeed coming to you right here from Moruleng in Rustenburg, where ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is said to come and do a door-to-door leading up to local government elections. The party this year marks 114 years of existence, and as usual, they go out to just mark that particular day. It was established in 1912, and we know that it took it over 8 years to be in government, but later, 30 years on, the party finds itself in troubled waters. It comes here, not being the party that, it once was. I mean, in 2016, if you remember, when it came to Rustenburg, the party enjoyed majority, but in 2024, the party failed to, garner enough support to make it a majority party. It failed to, get over 50% of the votes. Coming here to this celebration, we know that the party is faced with three, things that come to one mind. The first one would be coming here at the backdrop or at the back foot of not being able to come here as a party that won elections. Secondly, the party finds itself in the government of national unity where it governs with its political rival. Thirdly, recently the SACP's decision to contest elections independently. We know that currently the two political parties have to sit down and deal with the modality, especially since after the SACP made its decision and stuck by it, saying that it's not backtracking on contesting elections independently. We also saw the events where the party had various meetings trying to find each other, but the SACP there being vocal with regards to its position, raising those grievances that it's been over 20 years that they've been talking about the reconfiguration of the alliance. Also there, the current leader of the SACP saying that the ANC, failed to take this issue serious, says that they felt like they were a stepchild in the alliance, but saying that, but when it came to the government of national unity, the ANC was quick, to take that particular decision, to, co-govern with its rival. Here we are waiting for the president to come and interact with community members here in the Northwest Province, a province that is rigged with the high level of unemployment in the country, surpassing Eastern Cape. Secondly, we know the conditions of municipalities here, service delivery and issue. Municipalities are under local sphere of government closest to the people. I can tell you about Matlosana, a municipality. I mean, if you go to a location like Joburton, it won't be even difficult for you to see how people there are living with regards to just potholes and an issue of service delivery there, an issue also Ditsobota also always being an issue, but we know that the party here in the province being confident, saying that they are getting to the bottom of the challenges there. But another issue was the municipality in Madibeng, a lot of stories with regards to how corruption is rife there. I mean, we did a story at some point where you found that particular municipality, rigged with corruption, where there were duplications of, payment when it came to service providers, and we know the issue of water there. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of millions spent, paying for some service providers that, did not do the job. And recently, there were issues also there with regards to, accusations of some leaders in the province, trying to accuse rather of, trying to capture the municipality for their own interest. And this province, like I already alluded to, a province that, has its own challenges, and the ANC, as it's a norm, it saw it fit, to rotate and come to Rustenburg to celebrate its January 8. But it remains to be seen, if that, particular message that the president will bring here would yield good results, fortune results to, ensure that come local government elections, the party, performs or claims its former glory. Currently we know that the ANC in these elections, they leave nothing to chance. And this year, 2026, it's also deemed to be one of those interesting, time in the life of the ANC, with other political pundits saying that could this be a signal of a once glorious liberation movement that came to power, that changed the life of people, starting to lose favor with regards to the issue of service delivery. We know that municipalities, or rather local government, are very critical, especially because they are the ones that, are closest to the people. That's where service delivery, it ought to take place. Now we are waiting for the president to come to this, area here in Moruleng to come and interact with community members. We've seen since arrival here, and people, starting to make their way. I mean, behind me, ANC members with regalia, chanting those particular songs. You can see that they are excited to receive the party's number one. We know that the other leaders of the party will crisscross the province, as part of the build-up to its celebration as it marks 114.
All right, Ntlantla Kgatlhane is live to us there from the Northwest ahead of that engagement involving the president in Rustenburg. For now, thanks very much indeed. We know, of course, that the Northwest is home to some of the worst performing municipalities in the country. It'll be interesting against that backdrop to hear what the president has to say to residents.